I've been so involved in my thesis that I've just been focused on that. I completely forgot that Skit was happening. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming. We have an amazing show today. The students have been working really hard to bring you a really great show, and I hope you enjoy it. However, I'm going to be working on my thesis. I took off the glasses, so now I'm in a different role. Feeling overwhelmed after the first 3 weeks of SIL, not sure how you'll survive till the end, drowning in homework, tongue-tied or finger-twisted in phonetics. Maybe you need the help of Syntax Man and Thesis Girl. These two super SILers have been attending SIL almost as long as Albert or Steve Marlette. Tackling the most difficult feats SIL can offer, like typology and discourse or writing a master's thesis. They have survived every course, read every article, analyzed every language. Well, those in the textbooks. Their true identities are unknown as they spend all of their waking hours sequestered in some corner of UND's campus working on their thesis or on their data. Nevertheless, when in fear, call upon Syntax Man and Thesis Girl.
No idea. Does a definite article even count? What about the adjective?
I know what we need. Syntax Man. He's taken packaging 3 times because his credits kept expiring. Memorize. Oh, Syntax Man.
You call?
Syntax homework.
Of course. Seeing as I helped Albert write the most recent edition, of course I can help.
This all makes sense now! Hooray! Syntax Man!
My pleasure. Now off to save some other students.
I guess you'll have to tune in next time to see how our heroes fare. And now we have another skit about taking classes.
Guys, I'm so excited about this new class, Overseas Survival Wisdom. I wonder what it could possibly be about.
I don't know, but I heard that our instructor doesn't speak English. You think he'll be an interpreter?
Oh, don't worry. Of course there'll be an interpreter. very important that you wear at home. Reason being, as you're walking along, a coconut may just fall on your head. So remember, it's very important.
Monkey.
Existential.
Now I know what it is. Always wear a helmet on your head because you never know when you'll be hit in the head by a falling coconut.
Got it. If you see something that looks like a white Tic Tac on your kitchen counter, don't eat it because it's not a Tic Tac, it's probably gecko poo. Eyes! Cat!
How would you tell the difference between a grizzly bear and a black bear? If you climb a tree and a bear climbs up after you and eats you, then it's a black bear. But if you climb up a tree and the bear comes and knocks the tree down and eats you, it's a grizzly bear.
And now for our next installment in the adventures of Syntax Man and Thesis Girl.
Why did I agree to be a TA? I've been grading homework for 3 hours, and these students just do not understand noun phrases. Oh, this guy got it all right. I haven't even started my homework. When am I going to have time to do my homework? My homework! Whoa! Thesis Girl!
Sounds like someone's having trouble accomplishing everything.
Yes, I am. How can you help?
Well, I've TA'd, taken 10 credits, and written a thesis in the same summer. Let me show you the way.
Sounds pretty good.
Just take my super grading wand out here. There you go.
Wow, Thesis Girl, thanks. Now I can do my own homework.
Happy to help.
Great. Hey, is this the Swahili language station?
Yeah.
Great, okay.
I'm Scott. Welcome. I'm Shadrach Musio Imunote.
Okay, great.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too.
So I was hoping we could just start with some basic Swahili phrases. Okay. So, for example, how would you say the boy threw the ball?
Kijana alitupa mpira.
Okay, great, thank you. How about the man was very handsome?
Mzee alikuwa ameumbika.
Okay, good, there you have it. What about the man Scott was very handsome?
Mzee Scott alikuwa ameumbika kweli kweli.
Okay, good. What about the man Scott was the most handsome man who had ever lived?
Mzee Scott ana kiburi kweli kweli.
Okay. And one more time, just to be sure.
Mzee Scott ana kiburi kweli kweli.
All right, perfect. And in English, just for comparison?
It means like Scott was the most, handsome man who ever lived in the whole world.
All right, perfect. Just what I was hoping for.
Yes.
This is good. Okay, what about, has there ever been a linguist as talented and amazing as Scott?
Ni utafiti unafanya ama unanitania?
Okay, one more time, a little bit slower.
Ni utafiti unafanya ama ni utani unanifanyia?
Okay, great. Shadrach, this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Wow. I could really use a break from my thesis. You know what I could go for? A really great story. I hear that they've been doing one in typology and discourse.
Know that they are there for a purpose. This is my story. I tell a story about Gilbo. Why did Gilbo split? A long time ago, there was a boy. The boy's name was Kumasai. Kumasai's village was Kitaba. Although all of the Kitaba people lived beside the sea, Kumasai built his house on top of the mountain. Now one time, the chief caught a pig to make a small meal. So, after the meal, the chief stood up and said,
Tomorrow we will cut each of our canoes. We will go to Sanaroa for a contest. Who will get the necklace?
All the people cut their canoes, pulled them down to the side of the sea, and built them there. In contrast, Kumasai cut his canoe to build it on the mountain. When the loading was finished, his friends had departed, In contrast, he, the Gumasaina, was still on top of the mountain preparing his canoe. While his friends were still sailing, Enoch just flew to Santa Rosa and arrived. While those friends of his were asking for necklaces, Gumasaina got a big necklace, but his friends didn't know it. Inside his basket, which he hung on a tree, was the necklace knob. The people went, opened the basket knob, and saw that the necklace knob was there. All the people were angry. They embarked and left with his canoe, came to Kitava. So he was sad. He went into a cave knob, entered it, and remained there now. Now the cave that Gumasai was inside was an ogre's cave. Now this ogre knob was blind knob. Gumasai knob was afraid. He was thinking knob.
He's going to not eat me.
The ogre went off to make pudding. Then he cooked and ate. While he was eating, Gumasai was starving, so he moved on across and ate with him. Now, while they were eating, Gumasai gooped up his scooping and bumped the ogre's spoon.
All right, Nah, are you there? Who are you?
It is not me, sir.
Where are you from? What is your name, Nah?
I am not Gumasai. My village now is Kitava.
Oh, fine, eat. Don't be worried. I'm a good Nah man.
So Gumasai took courage on and then ate properly. Then the next morning, they loaded the younger one's canoe and departed. And the ogre said,
Junior Nah, watch the rudder in this fast canoe. If you don't, it'll run aground.
Negative, sir. Nah, I invented the rudder.
Then the wind came and hit the canoe knob, and it was flying. It forced Gumasai's eyes not shut, and he lost control of the rudder, and the canoe sped along. Then it bumped Yellow and split it. So although we see that Yellow split when we go onto it, a long time ago it was not split. I guess that is all now.
My travels had taken me all over this great big world, looking for one man, just one man, who could teach me Mandarin. I had a good feeling about this day, but then again, you can never be too sure. Hello, I'm here for the Mandarin elicitation session. Thank you.
I didn't even speak Mandarin, but I wasn't about to tell him that. I was just trying to get some homework done and he walked into my room. Come on in. Have a seat.
Thank you.
Any bun over here?
Sure. Sure, I'll eat the honey bun. Little honey bun never hurt anybody. Perhaps we could start with a little background information. Name?
Chai Yang Yu.
Birthplace.
China.
Years of speaking Mandarin.
Roughly 29 and 6 months.
Other languages spoken.
Oh well, English, Kiswahili, Kikamba, Kikuyu, Kiluo, Kinyarwanda, and a number of them.
I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but something told me this guy might not actually be Chinese. But I wanted to find out for sure. Mandarin phrases. How do you say hello?
Jumbo.
How's your family?
Habari ya jamii.
I can't wait for Chinese New Year.
What's Chinese New Year? That's kinda complicated.
Complicated.
Yeah, I'm trying to get an easy version for you. Siwezi kungojea Chinese New Year.
There was one thing I noticed. Chinese New Year sounded a lot like he was saying Chinese New Year. Is that so? Interesting. I wanted to let him know that I was in charge. I decided to up the ante. All right, what do you say we try to write some Chinese characters on the chalkboard?
Oh yeah. I knew what he was up to, but I decided to play his game.
All right, I'd like to see this one. House.
House. Okay. Hold on. Make sure that triangle there, and you get your curve for the house.
That's house. Good. How about happy?
Happy. Oh, big circle over here. Circles over there.
Interesting. That's happy. All right, how about one more?
Yes.
How do you draw not actually Chinese?
What are you trying to say?
Oh, I think we both know what I'm trying to say. It's very obvious that you don't speak Mandarin, nor do you write the characters.
Neither do you. You don't speak Chinese too, and I don't think you will ever get anybody who speaks Chinese Mandarin anywhere in this world.
Got a point. Excuse me, phone call. Yeah. Oh, room 229? Oh.
At that moment, two thoughts were going through my mind. One, the skit didn't have a very good ending, and two, that honey bun. Honey bun.
It was the wrong place, the wrong man. But someday I'd return. Someday. But not today. I was too tired.
Ready for our next installment of Syntax Man and Thesis Girl?
Someone say sign language field methods? I took field methods for both spoken and sign languages. Are you trying to master sign writing for using it for lab sessions?
Yes, I need help!
Have no fear, I will transcribe your transcriptions for you right now.
Amazing! Now they are all consistent and legible.
My job here is done.
But now, some breaking news.
For a number of years, it has been debated as to the sustainability of the SIL community here at UND. After much discussion and partnership development, a survey team was appointed to assess the situation. After numerous interviews and questionnaires, surveyors have reported that the vitality of the community is very healthy. This is mostly due to the high pregnancy rates. Surveys show that SIL is experiencing an increase in pregnancy never before seen in SIL history. Authorities are calling them Generation Above Copy. As we know, birth rates are worthless without norms and values being passed down from parents to children. Surveyors conducted interviews with children to see how well parents are doing.
Do you know English? Yeah. Do you know sign language? Yeah. You said yes?
Yeah. Listening balloon.
Do you happen to know the sign language?
Joanna, can you tell me the languages that you speak?
I think English and a little bit of Malay.
Malay. Right, can you tell me what languages you speak? What languages do you know? Okay, what else do you know?
Spanish.
Spanish. What else do you know? English.
Good job, Mom and Dad. So found that. Alright, now due to the restrictions placed upon the courtyard, rumor that a deaf community resides there has been circulating the dining table that opens it. Surveyors say that the rumor is true, although they are unsure exactly where in the courtyard they are located or how many there are. For further information, we ask some of our own sign language experts.
That's a good question. People do have different ideas as to how many there would be. One way to think about that is back when Cameron Thompson had this idea that there might be 500 more languages in the Amazon. And eventually that number grew to around 7,000. And our knowledge of sign languages right now is about the same as what their knowledge of spoken languages were like back then. So there might be, and his number 500 turned out to actually be pretty accurate for the Amazon. And, that courtyard is a jumble. I guess there's 500 in the courtyard and 7,000 worldwide.
What do you think is in the courtyard?
There's probably still a couple of ticks. There's people who live under. They call them glass
Oh. What makes you think that there are people living underground?
Well, kind of that's the whole that they were really kind of
today's broadcast. Thank you for choosing KSIL News from where you parse. Happy coasting.
Writing a thesis is sure hard work. I just can't wait until I'm finished. However, as soon as you're done a thesis, then you have to defend it. Oh man. I wonder if I can learn any tricks to get through the defense.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for attending my thesis defense. This is highly convenient. I would appreciate it if my committee members would come join me right now, please. Regina Blas and Rob Freed and Kathy Hansen. Where are you? Come on down, Kathy. Okay, so this evening for my thesis defense, I'm going to be discussing some of the differences between spoken and sign languages. Okay, to begin with, an obvious difference between spoken and sign languages is the articulators. In sign languages, articulators, I'll give you an example, are signs, such as "io." In spoken languages, speakers. Articulators. Okay, that's a common difference. Also, in spoken languages, structures tend to be digital, as opposed to sign languages, which are typically analog. Spoken languages have significant evolutionary advantages over sign languages. Specifically, they can talk in the dark. Sign languages, however, can talk through glass. Dear committee members, Kathy, I'll begin with you. Do you have any questions regarding this presentation so far?
Yes, I'm wondering, how does this relate to the space program, specifically the Apollo 12 splashdown?
Are there any committee members, are there any staff members available to serve on committees? Jim, could you come down here for me, please?
Say job for Thesis Girl.
Jim, if you could just fill out this little form for me, I'm interested in having you serve on my committee. Thank you. No, stay down here. Kathy, your mom called. Thank you, Jim. Okay, one additional point. I'd like to point out that spoken sign languages travel at the speed of sound. Okay? But sign languages travel at the speed of light. Very important difference. Rob, do you have any comments on this?
Well, I'm wondering how preferred argument structure plays into this difference between the speed of sound and the speed of light, and whether or not there are differences in the pressure for ergative, absolute, and marking in sign languages.
Me too. I have another committee member on the roll. Thank you, Rob, for your time. It's much appreciated. Okay, I'm going to make one additional point here. Difference between spoken and sign languages. Okay, so spoken languages are obviously on the light side of the force. Sign languages are clearly on the dark side. Regina, do you have any questions regarding this last point?
Yes, definitely. Why are sign languages on the dark side of the force?
Darth, perhaps you could share some insight into this for us. signed the wrong form, so I just need one last signature and I can graduate. Thank you very much, folks.
I'm glad I took notes on that one. Committee members, beware. But now, let's check in with our superheroes, Syntax Man and Thesis Girl.
When's returning student skit night?
I don't know. I'm sure we have plenty of time, though.
Let's check the calendar.
Oh no, it's tomorrow. What are we gonna do? Did someone reserve the room? Did someone make flyers? We need to write a serial skit.
But I have syntax homework.
I have a thesis to work on.
We've come to your rescue.
We even brought a skit for your skit night.
Thank you.
And we've reserved the room, put up flyers, and posted it in the Sun-Times.
And we got a ton of snacks.
Thank you, Syntax Man and Thesis Girl. You saved the day.
And with that, our heroes have kept the students and staff safe and sane. Now come join us and our heroes for snacks in Smith 40.